Wow, what a great turnout. I guess when you, I was kidding when I offered everybody a $100 bill for coming, so I'm sorry. It wasn't true. So my name is B.J. Riley. I'm the AVP for Strategic Marketing and Community Engagement, and it's my pleasure to welcome everyone to this event today. It's a day that's been very exciting coming for us, and we appreciate the interest that the community, both Terre Haute and Wabash Valley and the St. Mary of the Woods community has in this, and so I appreciate everybody coming out. So it's my pleasure right now to introduce the Chair of the Board of Trustees, Alice Sherfick Shelton, to come up and speak to you now. Thank you, Alice.
Oh gosh, this is exciting. I was really hopeful we would not have enough chairs, and we could have used twice as many chairs, so this is a good news day. There is room on the floor if anyone wants to join us. Well, thank you, BJ, for the introduction. We have a number of people that I'd like to recognize and thank individually for coming, certainly not in order of priority except the first group. I'd like to reference and recognize Brennan Randolph's wife, his daughter Madison, and his son Caleb. His wife's name is Beth. They're with us as special guests today. So thank you for being here. You're probably the most important. And then two other individuals who accepted our gracious invitation to be with us from the Terre Haute community. The mayor of Terre Haute, if you would not mind standing, Mayor Brandon Sackbun. Your partnership means a lot to the college, and thank you for your warm greeting to me. It was nice to meet you for the first time today. And then from Congressman Bouchon's office, Mike Myers. So thank you for being with us today. I like the recognition from the community coming out to the Woods, because the community has always welcomed the college, and certainly they were the first welcoming committee for St. Mother Theodore, so it's good to have you here. Wow, this is a long-awaited day for me and for a lot of us, I think. So I'll accept the grace of you giving me a few moments as I introduce a very important person. It is my privilege, it is my honor, and it has been my hope that I would be able to introduce Brennan Randolph as the 17th president of St. Mary of the Woods College. That makes this very easy. If I was in any way nervous about making remarks about Brennan, I obviously have the room already, or Brennan does, so I'm grateful for that. You know, the press release that you're going to read soon will give you a lot of data and academic information and professional accomplishments about Brennan, and you can read all that, just like fine print loan documents. It's important, it's there. We live with it, but I want to talk with you about a couple of qualities of this man, this person, Brennan Randolph, that I've experienced in the last 13 months. Some of you might remember 13 months ago, I was standing up here when Brennan said his first yes to St. Mary of the Woods College. That was when the Board of Trustees asked if he would be willing to consider service as the interim president for 1 year. So thanks for that yes, Brennan. As in most yeses in our lives, we say yes, we think we know what we're saying yes to, and then the days begin. And for 13 months, Brennan has had a lot of days. And I'm grateful for that. I've had a number of my trustee colleagues remark over the months that you very rarely in a search process have the opportunity to have a 13-month interview with a candidate. And so I think in the history and annals that I will write for my part in time at St. Mary of the Woods College, I will be writing about what that 13-month interview was like from my purview with Brennan. I think part of my role in talking today is going to be to share a little bit about the search process, just so you understand from the board's perspective where we went with that. But before I get into that, I have 3 qualities I'd like to share with you about Brennan that I think are the most lasting, enduring, and important qualities he brings to us in our next leader. First and foremost, Brennan Randolph is a man who is humble. Don't misunderstand me. That does not mean he lacks confidence. It does not mean he lacks leadership. It does not mean he's indecisive or lacks courage. Brennan's humility is so evident every day in the leadership that he does here at the Woods. He makes decisions with the lens of students first, always. Every telephone call I get from Brennan Randolph where he is sharing concerns about a problem or needing to respond to a pipe bursting or whatever is going on in the day at St. Mary of the Woods, joyous, sad, Brennan's concern is always, how will this impact students? How can we serve students? What can we do to be better at serving students? That is a rare, rare quality, even in a college president, and I'd like to lift that up. Thank you, Brennan. Brennan frequently says to the board and to me in our conversations in our meetings, I'm going to be transparent with you. I'm sure the college community has heard that more than once. That's kind of a hallmark of Brennan Randolph's leadership. It takes courage to be transparent in the world we live in today. Anybody who knows Brene Brown and listens to her talking about vulnerability and being open with people knows the risk that we take as human beings when we're transparent and honest. And I think that is a real important hallmark of Brennan's leadership. So I trust that that will continue. I joke about Brennan using the word honestly a lot when he talks about things. And frequently when someone uses the word honestly with me, it's kind of a trigger to me that says, well, if they're telling me they're being honest, they're probably not being honest. And what I've come to know about Brennan is when he says I'm being honest, that's what he means. He's not trying to telegraph or throw me in another direction. He's being transparent, Brennan, and I love that about you. The other thing that I know about Brennan, because most of our communication either begins or ends with I'm praying for you or I will pray for you, even text communication, is that Brennan is a man who is guided with a very, very deep faith. When you talk about people who have an inner truth and have an inner North Star and understand how to move and lead forward, that's who Brennan is. It's very natural for him. I think Brennan would be the first to tell you that if I would have allowed it and the board would have allowed it, his preference, because he is so humble and he likes to just roll up his sleeves and get the work done, he would have preferred to just keep working, rolling his sleeves up alongside colleagues, and not have these formalities of a public announcement, not have the formality eventually of a public and really fun celebration inauguration in the fall. But I said, no, Brennan, because I'll remind you that the other thing you say to me always, including yesterday evening when we talked about this event, is the light needs to shine on St. Mary of the Woods College. This is not about me. And that really, to me, speaks volumes about who Brennan Randolph is and what his servant leadership here is going to be about. So I hope that's given you a flavor of Brennan beyond the details you'll read about in the press conference. Just a brief moment to talk to you a little bit about the search process, because I know that's been a question, or it will be a question, and then Sister Dawn will come up and speak a little bit as well. I'm gonna make a weird analogy for you. A search process for a college president is similar to two things that I think we can all kind of recognize. One of them is dating. The other one is buying a used car. And let me connect those dots for you. When you buy a used car, you are buying something that has had a history. You don't know totally what's going on. You don't get a chance to look under the hood. You might get a short test drive. You're going to negotiate on the price, and you're going to end up with something that you might kick the tires, might work out, might not. Okay, so when you go through a search process, that is kind of the same process. You're having a short meeting with someone. Even in a full-blown college presidential search, which we've done a lot of work researching, and I've been involved in many in my life and career, you may meet a candidate for a day or 2 days on campus. There may be focus groups with that individual. So there may be kind of a dating relationship that develops where we all know when we're dating, we are sharing the best parts of ourselves. And as my friend Jill used to tell me, if when you're dating someone, you're concerned about their behavior, pay attention, because they're on their best behavior, and when you marry them, it's going to get worse. So I share these examples in part because I want to tell you that this search was a really long and in-depth search, and it was an intentional search, It was board-driven, it was board-navigated and guided, and we knew, I'd say within the first quarter of the fiscal year last year, so from June until September, we knew pretty quickly, as we watched Brennan, as we worked alongside him, as he worked transparently with us as a board, with me as a chair, it was very obvious very quickly that he has an analytic mind. He's able to engage problems, pick up on what's happening, make action plans, energize people. His cabinet is extremely loyal to him. And so very early in his tenure as interim president, we knew that it would behoove us to utilize this year as a long and very, very closely monitored interview process, if you will. Now, I didn't tell Brennan that, of course, but I think he knew. And I'd like to say that on his part, and I'll obviously let Brennan speak for himself here shortly, but I know that Brennan gave very long and serious, what I'd call discernment, to understanding what this role is, what this vocation of presidency is, and how his gifts and talents might align with that, so that he could determine if this is something he wanted to do. And I'm sure that was a family discussion. I'm sure he and Beth had many conversations about that. I'm sure he and Madison had many conversations about that. She was a student here when he became interim president. So I want you to know that while in the world of higher education, you see a variety of search processes. Certainly we just saw one across the river at Indiana State, and they can be very large, public, situations where you're searching for a long time and you're bringing a lot of candidates in. What those searches don't provide that I believe we experience and I have witnessed is a very close day-to-day marriage with the individual who our board unanimously decided to engage as our next president. So I think that's an important piece of information about the search that I'd like you to have as we move forward. Brennan, it's rare for a president to get the chance to say yes twice, and you did that. And your yes recently, when the board asked if you would be willing to serve us in a 5-year contract as our 17th president, affirms the yes that I made to St. Mary of the Woods College as an alum, as a chairperson, and as a person who loves the woods. So thank you for both of your yeses. We are so excited to go forward with you. I'd like to next introduce the General Superior of the Congregation of the Sisters of Providence, Sister Dawn Tomaszewski. Dawn.
Well, good afternoon, and let me add my welcome and thanks to that of Alice for your presence, and it's certainly a credit to you, Brennan. So thank you all for being here. As the General Superior of the Sisters of Providence, I am privileged to offer Brennan Randolph, the 17th President of St. Mary of the Woods College, the wholehearted support of the Sisters of Providence. As the founders and sponsors of St. Mary of the Woods College, the Sisters of Providence are both grateful for and honored by President Randolph's commitment to this small, strong institution that has been in our religious family for 184 years. Since you joined the college in 2015, Brennan, you have already shown us that St. Mary of the Woods College is deserving of your best efforts. This has never been truer than in the past year when Brennan served as interim president, and Alice has given us a nice snapshot of that. So in addition to congratulations on earning the confidence of the Board of Trustees and the Sisters of Providence, let me thank you and the college leadership team that you have worked with during the past year for leading our beloved college through this major transition in leadership with devotion and perseverance. I also bring, this is my job at the podium today, the endorsement and the support of Archbishop Charles Thompson of Indianapolis. One of the things that a Catholic college has to be aware of is the document Ex Corde Ecclesia. It is a document that makes sure that the decisions that we make as a Catholic college align with the church's vision, the Catholic Church's vision of what higher education should look like. As sponsors, the Sisters of Providence and our Board of Trustees members, we are also responsible to make sure that those who lead this college manifest respect for the Catholic identity and character of the college, and promote the mission of service of a Catholic institution of higher learning. The letter of support from Archbishop Thompson makes clear that President Randolph has shown respect for the college's Catholic identity and character and will promote such service. But besides his confidence in Brennan's ability to lead this as a Catholic college, Archbishop Thompson also wrote something very personal after meeting Brennan, and I quote, "I was rather impressed with his dedication to the mission of the college and his ability to relate to others." So, with the support of Archbishop Thompson, we, the Sisters of Providence, submitted our request for affirmation of Brennan Randolph to the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, USCCB, and their Committee on Catholic Education. So the Most Reverend Thomas A. Daly, who is the Bishop of Spokane and the chairperson of that Committee on Catholic Education, supported the finding of Archbishop Thompson that Brennan J. Randolph is a suitable candidate for president of St. Mary of the Woods College. And I want you to know that Bishop Daly also affirmed the presence of Dr. Janet Clark, the provost of St. Mary of the Woods College, whose responsibilities specifically include assurance of Catholic identity. So we thank you too, Janet. Now, why is all of this so important to us? Well, because we're more than an institution of learning. The values we have inherited from our foundress in establishing this institution are as important to us today as they were to her. There have been many slogans and taglines connected with St. Mary of the Woods College over the years. But the motto of this school, as given to us by St. Mother Theodore, has never changed nor wavered. Virtus cum scientia, virtue and knowledge united. So we trust you, Brennan, and entrust you with this sacred mission to instill the needed virtue and values in our students, in addition to the necessary knowledge to enable them to think critically and to become people and leaders able to transform themselves, their communities, and our world. We, Sisters of Providence, look forward to continuing to work alongside of you and this entire Woods community so that this place, these woods, will be a place where God's providence, God's loving care will be clearly seen in the work that we accomplish together and in the people we become together as a community. Brennan, I know you are up to this challenge, and so I call you forth as the 17th president of St. Mary of the Woods College to share your own words of wisdom today.
I need to clarify with my wife, I did not know I was in a dating relationship for the last 13 months. But I did, however, kick the tires hard for 13 months. Well said, Alice. I want to take a minute to thank both Alice and Randy, Alice Shelton and Randy Adams, for their partnership over the last year while I've served in this interim role. Our regular communications, as Alice alluded to, have provided me with the constant reminder of their dedication for the Woods, for our students and our faculty and staff. You both are selfless servant leaders that make a difference on this campus each day, even though you may not be here. And it may have felt at times you should have been on payroll in this last year, but unfortunately you were not. This has absolutely been the longest interview process I've ever been in my entire life. But as Sister Dawn so well said, there was a reason for that. Sister Dawn, your partnership and the help that you've provided to me in this last year has been so helpful and appreciated. We have important work to accomplish together as we focus on our future as a community, or as we call more often, a family. The relationship between the college and the Sisters of Providence has been and will always be deeply rooted, and I recognize the unique responsibility that this presents to both of us. I am committed to protecting our history while we also seek ways to strengthen both entities. And Sister Dawn, it is always a pleasure to share a podium and a mic with you for obvious reasons. Thank you to our Board of Trustees, many are here today, and the extended cabinet for your patience and support of me and our cabinet members in this last year, as we have no doubt established a new cadence to our work, and I think that new cadence will continue in this next year. I'm confident that we are all moving in the right direction, and I look forward to what we will accomplish as we are now entering a new academic year. No one has demonstrated more patience in this year than our faculty and staff of SMWC, and you deserve a hand. We thank you for being focused on our mission and our students while we have navigated through this year of transition, and your work has not been lost on us and is absolutely noted. St. Mary of the Woods College has so many stories, and the most important stories we share are the ones where our students and our alums are the subject. We are all here today to celebrate a framework that organizes dedicated faculty and staff to provide a high-quality education for our students. When you have the right recipe, our students become alums that enter the world of work with great success. This is our goal with each and every student that walks through the doors or comes through the gates on the avenue. For our students in the room, we all take this very seriously. We work hard every day to strengthen this institution for you. I am committed to this responsibility, and I speak for our faculty and staff when I say that we are all committed to this responsibility. SMWC has absolutely celebrated growth in our enrollment in recent years with the addition of high-quality academic programs along with new athletic teams. With this growth, the college has invested significantly in much-needed infrastructure and deferred maintenance, and we have more work to do. As we move forward, we will consider new partnerships and collaborations that could provide new pathways to fund projects or to add new facilities. With over 50 years of experience in online or distance education, SMWC is poised to launch this delivery method in new ways that could open doors to new sustainable revenue streams for us in the future. Our campus community will continue to engage in the Aspire Even Higher strategic plan as we consider these strategic moves. This institution has impacted my life both personally and professionally. I have 2 alums that live in my house, both my wife and my daughter, both RNs that come home with some really fun stories that happen on the job. And our son Caleb attended Rose-Hulman, graduated a couple of years ago, and currently works at Rose-Hulman. So Caleb, you fit into the history of this place, considering the relationship between the two institutions. And I'm very grateful that you are all here today and the support that you have provided me in this last year, as I no doubt have come home at times venting or trying to figure things out in this capacity. In closing, I have to talk about our cabinet members. The VPs that are in this room work hard every day to support and protect our mission to ensure our future is aligned with our history, traditions continue, and our students are supported. Our provost, Dr. Clark, she's already standing, so she's right over here if you haven't noticed already. VP for Operations and IT, and I will add just about everything else, which fits into operations in the fine print in Frankie's job description. Frankie Enochs. Catherine Saunders, our VP for Advancement. Catherine, I think, is in the back of the room. Oh, she's in the other room, actually. Darla Hopper will be VP for Enrollment Management in the coming days, so stay tuned. And our CFO, Tracy Tucker, and she unfortunately is not able to be with us today. These leaders have been patient with the board, have been patient with me, have been patient with the transitions that we've been navigating, and they absolutely have poured themselves into this institution over the course of the last year, and especially during the summer as we have all been preparing for a new academic year. Servant leadership in this group of leaders is absolutely tested in ways you wouldn't expect, where VPs are out doing landscaping or moving beds or going to a new student information system and countless other things that we have navigated over the last year. The year of transition that we have hopefully just exited, can we officially say we've exited it now? Has been full of strategic moves and changes that will ensure that we have a better future and a sustainable future. I do not take the role that I have accepted as the 17th president lightly. I know that there is a tall order ahead of me. I really appreciate the support from the community members that are here today, for our students that are in the room, the work that you do to ensure that this mission moves forward, and I look forward to 5 years at this point, 5 years of service to this institution, and I appreciate you being here. Thank you very much.
Well, if you all don't believe in Providence, you've just seen it. It took 13 months, but it did happen. And to speak on behalf of a lot of folks in our community, we're really excited to be behind you, Brennan. So thank you all very much for doing this. So, this concludes our press conference. There is refreshments and other goodies out there. And so we really appreciate everybody coming out. We appreciate your support. What a great turnout, what a great day, and we look forward to great things. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.